Hello, everybody. Hello to the 6th Berlin Circus Festival online edition. I'm here with Stefan Sing. Nice to have you here. Can you tell us your feelings in like 3 words?
My feelings. I'm a bit nervous about tomorrow, but I also feel like a small kid, like waiting for his presents at Christmas. These were already more than 3 words. Yes, I'm just looking really forward what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know it exactly. Yes, makes me very curious.
You want to tell us and the audience who you are in maybe 1 sentence?
Yes, I'm Stefan Sing. I'm a juggler. I perform, I teach, I juggle, I work as a choreographer. Yes, that's me.
What is circus for you, or what means circus for
And now the interview will go 2 hours.
you? That's the one thing.
I have to say, the word circus is difficult for me. Like, it always depends how you define it. Like, if you would have asked what is contemporary circus for you, I could say it very easily. But
Let me do that.
Contemporary circus is a performing art. And I'm not sure if I really want to go deeper inside, but it's about performing. I feel that in my head, I don't like to do these distinctions. This is dance, this is theater, this is circus, this is blah, blah, blah. It's about performing, and it's about performing where the technique.
I think we have
to wait a bit.
That's live. Hello, Insta. It's a big street right close to it. Okay. Wait. Should we go with the question? What is contemporary circus for you?
Yeah. So contemporary circus for me is like it's a performing arts thing, and it's like someone has a technique and is using this technique not to show off, but like to illustrate something different, like an atmosphere, like a thought, like yes. So like the technique is the tool for doing something, and it's not the Selbstzweck. It's not the thing. Yeah.
Good answer. Like now you have like 48 hours here in the tent on the temporary airfield. What are your plans for this time? What do you want to do?
So I will be every day 9-10 hours on the stage. It will contain mostly improvisation, and like every hour I will give me another theme. Like it can be like a theme that I decided for a musical concert. I invited 4 guests, like 2 for every day. Like one is like Anna Peschke. She is a theater regisseur, and she also wrote a lot of texts by her own. So she's reading her poems, her tales, fairy tales, and I try to translate it somehow into juggling. Then tomorrow there's also Alex on with me, not on stage, but beside the stage, and he's making experimental music, and I try to follow or disfollow what he is doing. The day after, it's like one time Howard Katz, like he is a dancer from Berlin, who I don't know what he will do with me. He wants to direct me. I know it will go to some crazy places. I'm a bit afraid of it. And then there's Andrea Salustri, who also has chosen several philosophical dramas, several texts, which he also will read. And yes. And in the afternoon, there's always a Cristiana Casadillo with me. She's my wife and my performing partner. And we will make a small research about themes yes, about falling, stumbling, yes. And the rest, when I'm alone, I don't know what will happen. I just know I have 270 balls on stage. Let's see.
Thank you for so far. I have two questions. The first one is like, you don't want to, you said about circus, you don't want to put it in like boxes, whatever. I have the feeling like when we speak about contemporary circus, like we talk about a genre himself, but also when I see like the scene of jugglers, which is for me personally almost like a group, like also almost not a closed but a really closed group inside of the circus. How's this happened? Like, or
Yeah. I feel the same somehow. Or like I really feel when I'm in circus schools teaching, they are the jugglers and they are the West. like for sure, there are a lot of exceptions, but like I have the feeling like the juggling, you are so free when you juggle that it's very close to dance. And like, let's say if you do handstand or trapeze, I think it's more difficult to be as free as a juggler can be. It's possible, but I think it's more difficult. So I don't know. Like yes, I also feel there a kind of separation. Yes, but like coming back to the original question about circus, like I started to juggle, and I always disliked circus. Like, and I never wanted to be a circus artist. I just started to juggle, and like I had no connection to circus. But I think this comes a bit from there. Like the juggling is so. You just have to be in your corner, like a bit autistic, and throw the balls and move. Yes.
it's crazy. Like I followed like Matthias Womir was here before you, and he did a trick in the air with balls, and immediately like after 1 hour, like it was more a funny way, but I think somebody wrote, "Oh, I did the trick already," and I mean I think he was also in this chat, and I was laughing a little. Is it like that? Like you like always a little competition, or I mean you all meet very often. I have the feeling like jugglers, but is it competition or is it? I wasn't quite sure in this chat if it really serious or it's more a joke or not a joke.
I wouldn't say it's competitive. I don't, or like what I experience, it's not like this. It's just like there are so infinite possibilities because in a certain way it's also so easy. It's much easier than a trapeze volant. Like it's just so easy that it's also very easy to find new things. Also, if you're like, let's say your quality of the jugglers is not unbelievable, you're still able to find your style and you're still able to find something which no one found until now. And I don't know, I think this creates a certain pleasure and is very inclusive. And because also it's so big and there are such a lot of different ways you can go, I think that's the reason why it's not competitive. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, he's only using all the time one ball. So like it's great what he's doing, but I know I will never come there because he's only using one ball and I'm only doing, I don't know, 5 ball side swaps and I found. So I think that's a very wide field and it's very easy to find new things and to feel immediately like a creator.
Yeah. I have one more question and then I would open it for the audience. We are here like doing a festival online, which we actually, which is a weird thing in a weird world. So, yeah. I just wonder, like you are in the circus business for quite long. Did you ever had a similar situation like this before? And how is it for you, this whole situation? And what do you think? What's gonna happen?
Yeah, for sure. I had never this kind of thing. Like it's going on so long, Yes, like there's nothing for me to compare. And yes, it's problematic, but like let's really hope that end of spring we are over with it.
Yeah. But do you think that Corona will infect the circus scene for long? Like,
I don't think so. Like, I don't know. I really hope, like, when everything is over, like that the people are starting even more creative, with even more pleasure, with even. Sometimes, if something is taken away, that's the moment when you understand how important it was. So, like, also this hugging someone. It's like it was always a very normal thing, and now we see no, it's not normal anymore. And I really hope that we understood the value of this kind of deep contact with other people. And I think it's this. I hope it's the same with art or with performing. That like by not having it anymore, like I hope that after it gets even stronger, because we understand how fucking important it is.
I found myself also like being more optimistic about what's coming, like this new, because what we could see here already is if people are able to work together, it's just so crazy how much will come out from it. So
yeah. I think you can be pessimistic, but like I don't know if it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's like it is, and we just have to not lose the hope and just go on.
Yeah. Cool. Then so far, thank you. And I would like to see if there's any questions from the front.
So I maybe have 3 questions, but it's building up to. So the first would be, so juggling was the first kind of hobby for you when you start? Or was it also focus on money with this?
I have a brother who is like 14 years older than me, and he was always my idol, and I always wanted to be better than him. I was never. But he started to juggle, and he bought a book about juggling, and for sure I was copying him, and then very fast, like after 1 week, I was much better than him. And then I just didn't stop anymore. So in the beginning it was a kind of hobby, sure. But like I think after 3 months, it was clear in my head that I want to make it to my profession. And then there were a lot of deviations and whatever.
So how long do you still juggling?
I'm juggling now since 13 years.
And did you ever get, this is the last question, so did you ever get bored of it? Or it's still this kind of passion you have like in the first time?
Strange-wise, I never got bored about it. But like, I think my juggling changed a lot from the beginning to now. If I'm bored about now, if someone says, okay, you have to learn now 5 ball backwards. And I would get very bored about it, to really learn it and to do it 1 hour in a row, the same pattern. Like what I said before about if I wouldn't be able to improvise with the balls, and if I wouldn't feel the freedom which I feel, I'm sure I would have stopped to juggle. Yes. There were 2 questions.
No. Was it a hobby? How long? And I bought some.
Is there any other question?
There's a comment.
Yeah.
Another question. On Toivonen says, mega boss man.
They could be mega botsmen too.
I was thinking about this concept that you have, that you're going to be on stage for 10 hours. Like, have you, it's a bit 2 questions also, like, have you ever done this long time on stage in 1 row before? And what was your idea that you chose this? Are you like interested in reaching a point when you get maybe like you have no idea what you can do anymore?
Yeah. No, I was never so long on stage, and I never tried this what I tried tomorrow and after tomorrow. it's very often that like I'm in in the moment my living room is my training space.
Is it high?
I don't need height. It's okay. But it's a Altbauwohnung, so it's a kind of 350. But very often I put like a DJ set and then I don't stop until the end. So sometimes yes, I juggle 1 hour 30 in a row. But for sure, if you're alone and no one is observing, the kind of laziness sometimes comes in. And now in preparation in the last week, I really said to me also, like, if you start to think about something else or if you get lazy, fight against it and really go with it. So yes, like I want to use a bit. I know that people will look at me, so it will be much more difficult for me to get lazy or to obey to the tiredness. So like and I know when you are very tired, your improvisation gets much better. So I'm also using it as I will use now the public also as a kind of egoistical thing to bring me in this kind of states where I hope to come. Yeah. But in the beginning I thought, yeah, I stay here 48 hours on the stage and like, come on. No break in between. Like I get the food on the stage, but like let's start easy peasy. But like yes, I was also thinking a lot. How can I be when I'm really really tired? How can I improvise without exhausting my body all the time? So what is possible to still be there, but without damaging my body? And yeah, at the end, everything is possible if it's done with the right attitude. Yeah.
I don't see. I see one more hand.
What would you like to do with your research? So after the 48 hours, what's the next step?
Like in general, or like referring to what I...
With what you're finding in the next 2 days, do you have an idea, or you just want to see how it develops, or what your thoughts are afterwards?
Like...
If you were expecting it.
Yeah. I don't know. I have hopes, but I don't know if this is the right place to tell them now. No, like as more as I was thinking now about this concept, as more I started to really enjoy this concept. And for sure, it's also always like for us, let's say, who are coming out of the circus world, also like we want to open this world to the art scene, to the museums, to this kind of other things. So I don't know, like I always get also when I read from people who are doing this hardcore performances for, I don't know, like very long time, I always got very fascinated about it. Also when I was a kid, I always wanted to become a marathon runner. So I don't know, like if it suits me, it would make me very happy, because this is also something which can open different markets. It sounds strange, but like, but I don't know, we will see. Perhaps I totally fail, and after 1 hour I just think what I'm doing here. No, it's not about failing or not failing. It's like, but yeah, sorry. Like I really hope to be so tired that things are happening which are normally not happening, and that that this gives me motivation for the future to look more for this kind of streets to come to these places.
I have one more question from Jacob.
Do you want to interact with the people in the stream?
No.
And do you want to know how many viewers you have?
If I know how many...
Do you want to know how many people are watching this? Because of the control instance?
Yeah.
Maybe after.
No. If I want to know it after, but I'm not sure. Yeah. I think after the 2 days it's interesting, but during I don't like to know.
I thank you so much. I think we're good.
Thank you.
I would love to hear about your feelings after this 20 hours. Maybe you want to tell us or write it down. If not, it's okay too. But yeah, we wish you a lot of fun. Nice to have you with us.
Yeah, and thanks a lot for everything what is done here, like for making in this very, very strange times something like this. It's a big present. Thank you.
Cut.